Mm. All right. How's it going, everybody? This is yours truly, Rama Screen, covering movies, TV, and entertainment. And I'm back. This is my second live streaming of the evening to give you my review of this brand new documentary short series by Netflix called Losers. This fascinates me. Ever since I caught wind of the trailer, I think it was a couple of weeks ago. Immediately when after I saw the trailer on the web or on YouTube, I emailed the contact person on Netflix, and I was like, "Hey, can I get the screener for this? I want to screen it to review it because I'm very interested." And so, what is this, Rama? What is this about, Losers? Well, by the way, this is documentary, right? So it's not like I don't have to give you spoiler alert because it's a documentary based on actual events, actual people. So the events already already happened or took place. There's not much spoiler going on here. Just want to let you know. Okay. So Losers is basically it's an 8 episode limited docu short series chronicling 8 separate stories of individuals who compete in sporting events or some sort of a sports related stuff that happened in their lives, and they never won. They always lost. So they lost whatever tournament, whatever matches, whatever games that they competed in. And so these are their stories. So real quick, um the first episode is the miscast champion. It's about American boxer Michael Bent, who suffers a near fatality in a championship fight, setting him on a new course to explore themes of triumph and failure with his creativity. The second episode is The Jaws of Victory. It's set in England. The beloved but historically futile Turquoise soccer team face oblivion on the first day of their season. The third episode is called Judgment. After a career defying conventions, French figure French figure skater Surya Bonali punctuates her final Olympic appearance with an illegal move that makes her a legend. Excuse me. Ooh, I think I need my Coke again. Mm. The fourth episode is called Stone Cold. It's about curling, the sport curling. The one that you throw that round thing on the ice, and then your teammates will be like brooming or like sweeping in front of the round things to get to. I'm not familiar with curling, and when I saw it for the first time on TV at during Winter Olympics event, I was like, "What is this ridiculousness?" Turns out it's a very serious sport. Nothing to be nothing to scoff about. So um, this is what this fourth episode is about. The fifth episode, Lost in the Desert, is about an ultra marathon runner who runs through the Saharan desert. He's Italian, and he finds himself separated from the pack and lost. The sixth episode is Ally, or I'm sorry, Ali. Ali. It's about dog musher Ali Zirko. Um, and the grueling 1,000-mile Iditarod race in Alaska, I believe. And the seventh episode is called Blackjack. It's about American basketball player Jack Ryan, who squandered every opportunity that he received as a professional, and that failure after failure forged a path for himself into the career that he ultimately loves. And the last episode, the eighth episode, is called the 72nd Hole. It's about French golfer John Van de Velde. I hope I pronounced that name correctly. And he suffers one of the great collapses in sports history at the 1999 Open Championships. So I just gave you the description or the plot synopsis real quick there, but in a nutshell, it's these are eight stories, eight people, eight individuals, right? Who in their sport of choice, they're supposed to excel, but they don't. Not necessarily due to lack of talent. Sometimes it's lack of discipline, like in the blackjack episode, and sometimes it's just things that are beyond your control, like the weather in the episode about the Iditarod race. Um, Sometimes it's, for example, the one about the American boxer Michael Bent. He actually didn't want to box. He never wanted to box. That's his dad vicariously living through him. Basically, his dad demanded him to fight. Um, Now, if you ask me, hey Rama, is each of these episodes, um are they slow? Like, do they drag? Are they engaging? Well, my is there are a few of them that kind of take their time to sort of formulate their story. Um, for instance, the episode about the curling one, and the episode about the French golfer, the eighth episode, and those two to me just they don't resonate with me that well. And it's not that the story sucks or anything. Still kudos to the subject matter at hand, but um, each of these episodes is directed by different filmmakers, different documentarians. How do you pronounce that? Documentarian. Um, and so each of them has their own pacing, how they stitch the moments in this person's career. Um, but one connecting line in all these eight episodes is that they all have animation. They all consist of animated sequences, that is developed by an artist and director named Mickey Dojic, and he's the one that actually executive produced the whole thing. And it's fascinating because the animation sequences, they come in whenever the talking heads on the documentaries, whenever they are describing certain things, or they even describe what certain things feel like. And so that's when the animation by Mickey Dujic, again, sorry, I can't pronounce his last name. That's when the animation comes in and illustrate what that would look like for you. And some of those animation sequences are actually pretty funny. Not all of them are, like, really. Not all of them really are on the bent, or not all of them are determined to, like, give you the exact illustration of what the talking heads are describing. Some of them, some of the animation could get exaggerated a little bit, and that provides some of the humor in this docu series. Um, hey Rama, do you have a favorite or two out of these eight episodes? Yes, yes. My favorite one on the top, I would have to say it's the one regarding Ali. So Ali Zirkle is this dog musher. Um, that famous Iditarod race, the dog race in Alaska, where you're on the sleigh and there's, like, I want to say eight dogs, I believe, right? Running, and pretty much that's the race, 1,000 miles. Holy crap! Through the tundra and sometimes at night, and I love this episode because Ali, this the subject matter, this real life person, she really genuinely loves dogs. Like she doesn't view her dogs as just some kind of rocket fuel to get her to victory, you know? She actually views them as family. It's like she would die for them. That's how much she cares about them. And that really is awe inspiring, you know? Because we as human nature, especially in the world of competition, whatever that may be, it doesn't have to be sports. Um, our human nature would probably dictate us to like, okay, what and who can I use in this situation given at hand in order to move me up in the trajectory, move me up the ladder in my career or whatever. Like who can I use? Who can get me that recommendation? Who can I sweet talk to? Um, but for Ali, she doesn't see her dogs as somebody. She doesn't see her dogs as something that she just uses, to like to get her sleigh to move forward. And that genuine care eh, resonates with me. And also her story, she almost got killed at one point. Like this drunkard with a snowmobile, like almost ran her over, but that did not stop her. She keeps coming back year after year after year. She still thinks like I'm gonna win this. I'm gonna win this. But year after year, it's like third place, fourth place, 15th place, second place again. She never wins first place, but that doesn't stop her. My next favorite is the one about um, the figure skater Surya Bonali. Now you go ahead, Wikipedia Surya Bonali. Her story will astound you, and in this documentary, not only do we get to see that amazing backflip that she does, because I don't remember any other figure skater who is brave enough to pull that off. Surya, at such a young age, she not only that she manages to do backflips, she can do it consistently without ever falling once. And she does it with such bravery, even though it's an illegal move. You're not supposed to do that. The thing that really pushes her to that point is because, and this documentary chronicles that, and this pisses me off. I'm really upset when I see this part or this documentary or this episode, if you will, in that it's revealed that there is some kind of racism in the sport of figure skating, which is uh on one hand is understandable, but on the other hand, it's like, come on, man, things gotta change. You know what I mean by that is that apparently the judges in figure skating, and I'm sorry if I sound like I'm blanket blaming all of them, but picture th- they have this picture in their heads, in their mind, of what a graceful figure skater should look like. And more than often, that picture is skinny white girl. Surya Bonali is black, French black lady girl. Um, and so she has that uphill battle going for her, in addition to the whole thing of trying to conform with the rules and trying to be as graceful and get the moves right. That part is already challenging enough, but on top of that, to compound that, she has this thing where she is black, and the judges are like, yeah, I don't know if we're ready for a black skater. I was like, um, so it's fascinating to see her journey in this one. Now another thing, I guess the question that I have when I watch these 8 episodes, I would love to see the behind the scenes, the making of each episodes by each of the directors. Um, I'm curious to see, or maybe the producers. I'm curious to see their process as to how they come to these names, how they chose these 8 individuals. Like these 8 people come to Netflix, like knock on their doors, like, hey, you want to do a docu about me? I doubt it. So how do they come to hear about, for example, Ali, the musher? Like, how do they know their story? Like, um, so yeah, I guess you could say the casting process, if you will. I'm really curious to know, um, how the producer Mickey Dujits, again, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, how Mickey and the rest of the people involved with the show, how they come to decide that these are going to be the 8 people featured in this docu short series. So that's one question I have. The other question is also the subject matter. For example, with Ali, the dog musher, right, the Iditarod, um, there are footage of her going back to like 2011, 12, 13. I think at one point she even told the camera to stop filming after she got hurt. Um, so obviously it looks like the filmmaking crew had been with her for quite some time, or at least they went to shoot her every year that the race happens, because it's an annual thing. So I'm curious to know about that. That just boggles my head. Um, I don't know if Netflix will release behind the scenes, because I think they should, because that would be pretty fascinating to watch. Um, Another thing that's really, this is one of, I'm gonna get to my reason why you should check it out. Okay, I'm gonna get to my overall reason, so stay with me. It's like, hey Rama, why do I need to concern myself with this docu short series? Like, why is this docu worth my time? I'll get to that. Um, but another favorite of mine is also the episode on Blackjack, this basketball player who grows up with no self-esteem because his dad keeps telling him ever since he's a kid that he's worthless and he'll amount to nothing, and that he should stick with football. But he's like, no dad, I want to play basketball. And because of that low self-esteem, he takes his anger out on other people any chance he gets. And so what's so interesting is that he keeps getting opportunities. Like, he keeps getting accepted to one high school to the next, one college to the next, because he keeps getting kicked out for making troubles, and for drinking and just partying instead of being disciplined. um he always blows every opportunities that comes his way. And it gets to the point where he he thinks about suicide, and right in that rock bottom, right, because he can't get any lower than that, he's at the bottom, like depressed, like, what a loser, like he's a failure. But right at that rock bottom moment, he finds an opportunity of a lifetime when he's offered the job at Harlem Wizard, because turns out he has skills, like Harlem Globetrotters, where you spin the basketball, for minutes on end, and you do tricks. He's got that skill, and now he's making that to use. Like, he's putting it to use to make kids happy, and he has a comedian nature to himself, so it comes natural for him, like, to be funny and to make kids laugh. And the moral of the story of that is that, billions of us on earth, will go to our graves doing the jobs that we hate, right? Um, so if you get to make a living doing what you love, you've won. So Blackjack may not be an NBA champion. He may have been a loser for most of his life, getting kicked out of schools, not as successful as his siblings, you know, whatever. But because he's found a job that he really loves and he gets to make a living off of that, off of what he loves to do, he is the winner. He's the winner. That's winning right there. That should be everybody's American dream. How cool is that, right? Where you wake up every day, you don't feel miserable about what you're about to do for the rest of that day. So that's also one of my favorite episodes. So Rama, why do I need to bother myself with losers? Because it, there are so many documentaries out there about winners, right? We've seen documentaries about Muhammad Ali. We've seen documentaries about, I don't know, Flojo or any of the athletes out there that are champions, that are victorious. Um, but these 8 people, they're basically like Rocky Balboa in the first Rocky movie when he did not win against Apollo Creed, or when the bell got it's called off. Um, that's what they are. That's what makes their stories inspiring. That they're so close to winning, but they never actually get there. But excuse me, but there is always a silver lining to them not winning. And that silver lining becomes the wisdom and the inspiring part of each of these 8 individuals. So I highly recommend it because you can learn a thing or two from their stories, from their uh, persistence. Even though they lose, they keep coming back. They keep. It's like they don't, like Ali's like, okay, I'm getting second place again, but next year I'll do it. Next year I'll win. And the same thing with Surya Bonali. Okay, the judges, don't see me that way. I'll show them. Or like Michael Bent, the boxer who ends up being a boxing consultant, and he also is involved with Hollywood now, and he also does theater. So he may not have been a successful boxer, even though he did have one heavyweight title that he lost in a blink of an eye after that. That may be what happened in the past, but right now he's juggling a lot of things that he's actually passionate about. And so believe me when I say that these 8 stories don't end up in depressing way. They may be losers, they lost and lost and lost and lost, but all these 8 episodes have a lesson to them. They are hopeful, and they make you look at the brighter side of life. um, it's easy, right? It's easy to root for the champion, it's easy to root for the winner. um, but it takes an extra umph to root for losers. And I think that is what this documentary challenges you. And in my life, I've met winners who are actually losers, because winning gets to their heads and they become snobby and arrogant. They become assholes because they won. And everybody's like beneath them. They think they're better than everybody. So in a way, they're losers, even though they won or they have medals or they have Oscars, whatever. And in my life, I've seen losers, people who society might say, hey, you're not going to amount to anything. So They're perceived as losers, seemingly losers, but they're actually winners. They're winners because they have the heart. They keep coming back and they keep trying and trying, and they may not be millionaires, they may not be gold medalists, they may not be Oscar winners, or they may not get that promotion in the office. Um, but they put in the work, they're faithful to that work, whatever that is, and that says a lot about them, more than the winners who, like I said, get the winning, the winning or the victory gets to their heads and turns them into assholes. So I've seen losers who are actual winners, and I've seen winners who are actually losers. So um, life is weird that way. Oh, one last note. Uh, Thank you, by the way, Netflix, for granting me the screeners to this docu. And I'm recommending all of you out there, Rama Screen viewers, to please, if you have Netflix account, um, go. I think netflix.com/losers, I believe. So search Losers on Netflix. Go watch all 8 episodes. Believe me, I guarantee you will not regret it. My last note is that I don't know if this series is season one, or I don't know if this is just a one-off thing, or maybe it's an anthology. The next season or the next installment, whenever that is, if there's one, it, it'd be nice if they branch out to other things, aside, or other things beyond sports. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Sports, it makes sense because in sports, usually it's about winning, winning, winning. So it makes sense that this documentary short series, Losers, is set in the world of sports. But imagine, like I said, you can also learn a lot from losers in the corporate world, people who try to get promotion but keeps getting passed over, right? Or entrepreneurs who keep failing in their business. I've on one venture after the next. Maybe he or she is so stubborn, like, no, I don't want, I hate the idea of working for somebody. I want to work for myself. But in the process of becoming a businessman or a businesswoman, he or she keeps failing and failing, whatever business that he or she opens. So my my suggestion is, Netflix, if you are planning to make another installment or season of Losers, try to venture beyond just sports. You know, um, not all of us dabble in sports. I know some people or some friends of mine who don't even watch sports. They find sports not to be interesting, but they're into games. Maybe you can show gamers who are losers, in tournaments about games. So let's go beyond just sports. It'll be there. I think there could be more stories to tell out there. Again, it'll be interesting to find out how you come to the 8 names that you're gonna have for the next season. I want to know also how you got to the 8 names that you have for this season. So, but yeah, everybody at home, all you guys watching this, go check out Losers. They're on Netflix, on your favorite streaming channel service. That's all I could say. Yeah, go check it out. Thanks for tuning in on this live stream review of Netflix docu short series Losers. Share your thoughts in the comment section below, or if you have questions about this, share them in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to accommodate or to answer those questions. And as always, subscribe to my channel, press that like button, and ring that bell so you can get notified whenever I post new videos. And if you can help support this channel, please do so at patreon.com/ramascreen. That's patreon.com/ramascreen. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's rock this.